Relationships can be complex, especially in an age full of distractions and endless options. You might think she's fully invested in you, that you're the only person on her mind. But what if there are subtle, almost undetectable signs that she's actually seeing someone else? No, I'm not talking about the obvious red flags like secrecy or being glued to her phone. I'm talking about the little things, the behaviors that seem innocent at first, but when you look closer, suggest something different. You might just be her backup plan. It's not easy to come to terms with this reality, and I'm not trying to stir up unnecessary suspicion or cause issues in your relationship. I just want you to recognize the signs that you might be missing, those quiet indicators that she's emotionally or even physically involved with someone else. Let's dive into these signs so you can trust your instincts and not ignore what's really going on. 1. Her affection starts feeling forced. At first, it might be hard to notice, but eventually you start feeling it. The warmth, the affection, the spark, it all starts to feel a bit too practiced, like she's following a script. Maybe she's still saying the right things, but there's no real connection behind it. Real affection is spontaneous, it's full of energy, and it makes you feel close to her. When it starts to feel more like a checklist, quick hugs, half-hearted I love yous, brief kisses, it's a sign that her heart isn't fully in it anymore. She might be keeping the surface level connection with you intact, but emotionally she's elsewhere. And when affection becomes mechanical, it's often because someone else is occupying the space that used to belong to you. 2. Her schedule becomes unpredictable. At first it doesn't seem like a big deal, life gets busy, but if she used to be consistent with her time and now her schedule is all over the place, pay attention. When someone is truly invested in you, they'll make time. But when they're juggling multiple people or keeping their options open, suddenly their availability starts to feel erratic. One minute she can't hang out, and the next minute she's free for a brief moment. It's not just a busy schedule. It's a sign she's trying to keep her options flexible. If she's becoming more unpredictable, it's a red flag that she's no longer fully committed to you. 3. Changes in her social media behavior. Social media can say a lot about a person's emotional state, even if they don't realize it. If she used to post photos of you together, but now it's all solo shots or cryptic captions like "living my best life," something's up. These subtle shifts, more selfies, out with friends, and the occasional cryptic "finding myself" post could be her way of signaling to someone else that she's available. When a person is invested, they're not broadcasting their availability to the world. But if her posts are suddenly reflecting a more independent, look at me vibe, she's probably sending a message, and it's not to you. 4. She becomes secretive with her phone. We all value privacy, but there's a difference between privacy and secrecy. If she's suddenly treating her phone like it's classified information, that's something you need to notice. If she's flipping it over when it buzzes, or becomes glued to it the second you leave the room, that's a sign she's hiding something. If she's acting protective of her phone, it might not be about privacy. It could be about keeping secrets. When you're emotionally open with someone, you don't hide every little notification. If she's suddenly doing this, it's a sign something might be off, and you deserve to know the truth. 5. She stops showing interest in your life. This is a subtle shift, but an important one. If she used to ask you about your day, your work, your friends, and suddenly she doesn't seem to care anymore, it's a red flag. When someone's truly invested in you, they're curious about your life. They want to know what's going on with you. If she's no longer asking follow-up questions or showing that same enthusiasm, it might be because her emotional energy is going elsewhere. A person who truly cares about you will want to connect, but if she's checked out, you'll notice that lack of curiosity. 6. She hesitates to make future plans. When someone is serious about you, they're excited about making future plans together, whether it's a weekend trip or just a casual date next month. But if she's suddenly hesitant or vague about future plans, something's off. When she's unsure about committing to plans or gives vague excuses, it means she's not fully invested in you. If she's mentally already holding space for someone else, she won't be planning ahead with you. If you're always in limbo, waiting for her to confirm, ask yourself why she's not committed to making plans with you. it's likely she's already planning a future with someone else. 7. She avoids deeper emotional conversations. When someone is emotionally invested, they're open to talking about deeper issues, whether it's the future, feelings, or challenges in the relationship. But if she's keeping her conversation surface level or deflecting serious topics, it could be a sign that she's emotionally distancing herself. She may avoid any conversations that might bring up commitment or future plans with you, making it seem like she doesn't want to acknowledge the depth of the relationship anymore. This avoidance could mean she's already focusing her emotional energy elsewhere and doesn't want to lead you on. 8. She seems uninterested in resolving conflicts. In a healthy relationship, disagreements are a natural part of communication. But if she's no longer interested in solving conflicts or making amends when problems arise, it might indicate that she's not as committed to you as she once was. She might become indifferent or disengaged when issues are brought up, as though she's not invested in the outcome of the relationship. If she's already emotionally checked out or involved with someone else, resolving conflicts with you may no longer feel like a priority for her. 9. She's more critical or distant. If she starts becoming more critical of you or distant in her behavior, it could be a sign that her interest in the relationship is waning. When someone's emotionally checked out or seeing someone else, they may nitpick or distance themselves from their partner, often without a clear reason. This behavior could stem from the fact that she's no longer as emotionally invested in the relationship and may be redirecting her focus to someone else who's giving her the attention or validation she craves. 10. She's spending more time on her phone or social media. While it's normal for people to use their phones or browse social media, a sudden increase in her time spent on these platforms, particularly if she's being secretive about them or defensive when you ask about it, could signal that she's engaging with someone else. If she's texting, chatting, or making plans through her phone without sharing those details with you, it's a red flag. Secretive phone behavior can suggest that she's trying to keep her interactions with someone else private, indicating she might be emotionally or physically involved with someone new. These signs can be tough to spot because they're subtle, but if you're noticing these patterns, trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. It's not about jumping to conclusions. It's about being aware of the subtle cues and understanding that you deserve someone who is as invested in you as you are in them. So, pay attention, trust yourself, and don't ignore those gut feelings. You deserve someone who's fully committed, not someone who's keeping their options open. If any of these signs resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more relationship advice. Stay smart, stay aware, and never settle for anything less than genuine love and commitment. Until next time.